If you went out and you asked 100 different people, what is your biggest monthly expense? 90 of them are going to say it's their housing payment, your mortgage, or your rent. But did you know there's a little loophole out there that you can use which lets you own your own home, but you don't actually have to make a housing payment out of your pocket? Watch this video till the end to find out how. What's up everybody, I am Jasprit Singh from theMinorityMindset.com and welcome to The Minority Mindset. Most people's biggest expense is their house because every month you gotta pay this rent check or this mortgage check. But what if there was a way for you to live without a housing payment and without having to wait 30 years to pay off your mortgage? Yes, it is possible and I'm gonna be talking about it in this video. But before I get into that, I need you to do me a quick favor and smash that thumbs up button below, because the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you do not smash that thumbs up button, then YouTube is much less likely to show you and other people our financial news and education videos. To do this kind of house hacking, you have to find a loophole in the system. What's considered a home? Before you give me a sentimental answer like home is where the heart is, we're talking strictly financial right now, okay? When most people think of a home, here's what they're thinking. They're thinking of this building with a roof on it, with a door, with a couple windows, actually maybe more windows, and then a driveway. This is what most people think of when they think of a home. But technically speaking, that's not the only definition of a home. I mean, you can own a condo, which is one unit, which is attached to a lot of different units. Your home can be an apartment where now you're renting this one unit inside of a building with a bunch of different units. Your home can also be a mobile home. So there's a lot of different types of homes out there. And if you wanted to buy a home, this takes a lot of cash. And most people don't just have a ton of cash sitting in the bank account where they can just go and buy their own home completely with cash. So what do? You go over to the bank, and then the bank is going to loan you some money. That way you have the cash to buy a home. So now the bank gives you this mortgage. That way you have the cash to buy this home. And then every month for the next 30 years after that, you're going to be paying your bank back this mortgage plus a little bit of interest. So this is what people want to avoid. They don't want to have this big monthly payment because it is expensive. And for the majority of people, when they think of being this housing payment free, they have to wait 30 years until they can pay off their mortgage. But there's a little loophole that you can use which will allow you to no longer have this money come out of your personal bank account. You could have someone else pay this loan. Let me show you what I mean. So you have this really nice 4-unit multifamily building on sale for $1 million, and each one of these units rent for $2,000 a piece. They're pretty nice units, they're spacious, they're nice. When most people think of buying this 4-unit multifamily building, here's what they think. I'm gonna buy this multifamily building for $1 million, but I don't have $1 million in the bank, so now I gotta go to the bank and get this commercial real estate loan. That way I have the cash to buy this investment property. So you go to the bank's gonna say, hey, you wanna buy this property? Great. Put down $200,000, and then we, the bank, are gonna loan you $800,000, and because it's a commercial real estate loan, we're gonna charge you something around 6% a year in interest. If you're getting a commercial real estate loan, a business loan, it's going to cost you a whole lot more than a regular mortgage, which is why at this time it might be something around 6% interest, which means this $800,000 that you're borrowing is going to cost you as the investor $4,800 a month. This is how much money you're going to be paying the bank every single month to own this 4-unit building that you're renting out. At first glance, you might think, wow, that's a great deal. You're making $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, $2,000. That's $8,000 a month in rent, and you're only paying $4,800 to your bank. That's thousands of dollars of margin. Except you forgot property taxes and property insurance and maintenance fees and management fees and property vacancies. Those 5 fees that I just mentioned are probably going to cost you something around $2,500 a month. This is in addition to your mortgage payment that you have to make every single month, your loan payment. So when your property is full, you'll be making $8,000 a month in revenue, and then you have to subtract your costs, which $4,800 plus $2,500, something around $7,300 a month, which leaves you with a few $100s of margin every single month to put in your pocket. And this can cover your vacancies that might come up and put some money in your pocket. But in this particular situation, you don't have a place to live. So now you're gonna have to go out and find another home to live in yourself, and you're gonna have to make a rent payment or a mortgage payment. And chances are this money that's left over after paying off whatever vacancies come up is not gonna be enough to cover your entire mortgage payment and your entire rent payment. So now let's reanalyze this deal. But this time you're gonna do something different. This time, instead of renting this property out to 4 different families, you're gonna rent it out to 3 different families, and you are gonna live in this unit right here for yourself. Remember when I asked you in the beginning of this video, what is a home? Well, from a legal perspective, as an attorney who is not your attorney, I can tell you that your home, which is called your primary residence, it can be a 1 unit, a 2 unit, a 3 unit, or a 4 unit property. So now if you go out and you buy this 4 unit multifamily building and you don't rent out all 4 units, you live in one of the units and you rent out the other 3. Now this is a 4 unit building that you are using as your primary residence, your home. When you use this house hacking loophole, there are 4 things that happen for you. First, you get a much cheaper loan because now you're buying a home and you can get a primary home mortgage instead of going out and getting a commercial business loan. At the time of me recording this video, this might only cost you 3% a year in interest. Compare that to what you would have to pay if you got the commercial loan like I talked about earlier. So now if you wanted to buy the same $1 million property and you put down $200,000, now your monthly mortgage payments are going to drop from $4,800 a month to $3,373 a month. That's quite a big drop. $3,400 a month might sound steep depending on your income, but you have to remember one more thing. Your neighbors, your people attached to your building, are all going to be paying you $2,000 a month to live in your building each. All right, now check this out. So $2,000, $2,000, $2,000. Every single month, your neighbors are going to be sending you $6,000 a month when your property's full. But you got some costs you have to pay, right? First thing you're going to do is you have to pay your bank. You're paying your bank $33.73 a month. And then you also have your regular building expenses, right? Your property taxes, your maintenance, your management fees, your vacancy costs, whatever this is, right? You have your regular cost to have a building, have a home, and this is going to cost you, from the previous example, $2,500 a month. This leaves you with $127 every single month that you have all your tenants in there, after paying your mortgage, after paying all of your housing payments, your taxes, your maintenance, everything for your home. You still have another $127 in your month because your neighbors are so generous that they decided to pay your mortgage for you. You get to live mortgage free because you don't have a housing payment anymore. Your neighbors are paying it for you. You're putting an extra $125 in your pocket every single month, and your neighbors are helping you build equity in this $1 million property every single month, and none of this equity is being built by you. It's being paid for by your neighbors. But now what if you don't want to pay that $200,000 down payment, or what if you don't have that $200,000 down payment? Well, that brings me to the second advantage of this loophole. This is where alternative types of financing come into play, like FHA loans. If you go the FHA loan route, now you might only have to put down 3.5% on your loan, but the issue with FHA loans is there's a limit to how big of a home that you can buy. But the interesting thing here is if you buy a multi-unit property, like a 4-unit home like I talked about, because 4 units count as a home, then the FHA limit increases. But before I get into that, let me also remind you that more debt comes with more risk. If you're only putting 3.5% down, you don't have as much skin in the deal, and you have bigger monthly mortgage payments. And so just understand that more debt comes with more risk, and if you don't have a big enough equity in your property, then you're also going to have to pay PMI. But it is an option for some people who want to get into this house hacking game. In certain areas, you would be allowed to buy this 4-unit property with just 3.5% down with an FHA loan, which means you only have to put down $35,000, and now you have this 4-unit property that you're renting out to 3 other people. Now in this situation, your mortgage payments are going to jump to $4,000 a month. Okay, let's do the math. $2,000, $2,000, $2,000. You have $6,000 coming into your pocket every month from your tenants, and then the first thing you got to do is you got to pay the bank $4,000. So you pay the bank $4,000, and then you have to pay the additional $2,500 a month to manage the property, property taxes and everything else. That means every single month out of your pocket, you're gonna have to pay $500 to live here, but you also have a $1 million property that you're building equity in each and every month, and most of that is being paid by your tenant. And in this situation, you only had to pay $35,000 down to buy this $1 million property. The third benefit, remember I said there's 4, the third benefit is that now you can sell this property for a profit and not pay any taxes. If I, Jasprit Singh, the real estate investor, come in and I buy this property to rent out. So now I'm not living here, I'm renting out all 4 units, and I rent it out for a year, and a year goes by and I realize, ooh, I can sell this property for $1.2 million, and now I sell this property for $1.2 million. Hey, I made $200,000 in a year, which is great, but I got to pay taxes on that $200,000 of profits. These $200,000 of profits of selling this investment property are called long-term capital gains, and so I'm going to have to pay taxes on $200,000, and so I'm only going to keep a fraction of that. But when this is your home, remember, this is your personal residence, which means this is your home. You can do that if you have 4 units. So if this is your home, you have a special tax exemption which says you can sell your home for up to $250,000 profit and you don't have to pay any taxes. And if you own the home as a married couple, then you can sell your home for up to a $500,000 profit, which means you could sell this home for $1.5 million and then you wouldn't have to pay a penny in profit. But sticking with the example, if you buy this home and you live here, and then you can have your tenants, your neighbors, pay you rent every single month, and now your neighbors are paying for your mortgage. They're building you equity in your home, and now if you sell this property, your home, for $1.2 million, you lived in this home free, you built equity free thanks to your neighbors, and now you can sell this property and walk away with a couple $100,000 cash in your pocket. And yes, that's tax-free. And then the fourth benefit is you can do something that I like to call multi-level house hacking. At the time of me recording this video, most lenders have a rule that you are not allowed to rent out your primary residence unit. So if you buy this property, you can buy it as a home, your own personal residence, but you're not allowed to rent out your unit for at least 12 months. But after 12 months, you typically have the right to turn this unit into a rental unit as well. So now you move out and now you just got this new rental unit. Remember, if I bought this property initially as an investment property, I'd be paying 6% interest. I'd have to put $200,000 down and my monthly payments would be $4,800 a month. But if I buy this property as my own home and I live here for a year, remember, I can get this at a 3% mortgage. I can still put down $200,000, but now my monthly payments are going to be something like, what was it, $3,400, something like that a month. And now I can live here for a year, not have to pay any housing payments because my neighbors are paying for everything, put $100 into my pocket every month, and then a year later, I can move out and then put an additional $2,000 into my pocket every month because these 3 tenants are paying the mortgage, they're paying all the housing bills, they're paying for everything else. This tenant is just profit after I move out. So now this new property where I just moved out of can keep paying me the $2,000 a month every single month because now your interest rate doesn't change. Your bank is going to let you keep this 3% interest rate, which you're not allowed to get if you're buying it as an investment property. But here's the dilemma. If you move out of this property, you still need a place to live, right? So you lived in this property for a year. You didn't have to make any housing payments because your neighbors paid it for you. You built equity in this property. And then a year and a day later, you move out, you bring in a new tenant, and so you're putting another couple $1,000s in your pocket, but you need a place to live. So here's what you can do. Now, you find another property like this, another 4-unit property, and guess what? You start this process all over again. All right, let me just finish drawing the windows. I drew the doorknob before the door. All right, now you have 4 new units, and now guess what? You move here, you rent out these 3 units to your neighbors. Each of these neighbors are paying you $2,000 a month, and you start this process again. There's no limit to how many times you do this. And every single year, you can buy a new property, you can let your neighbors pay your mortgage, and you can continue building equity in more and more investment properties. Do this system 5 times, and now you have 5 different investment properties with very low interest rate debt that are making you a profit every single month, that you're building equity on every single month, that your neighbors are paying for you to live there for every single month. Oh, and after 5 of them, you also have $10,000 coming into your pocket as profit every single month through passive income. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but this process is possible and it's a very accessible way for you to go and get involved in real estate because now you are having your own property where you're living in, but you're also building these rental streams, and when you're ready, you can move out and do it again. Now, before I let you go, if you are interested in buying your own home, our team put together an awesome article that can help you get a mortgage or refinance your mortgage. It will show you how you can save money and interest and how you can find a great option to get a mortgage or to refinance your mortgage. You can read this article on our blog, our website, by clicking the link up here, and I'll also link it for you in the description below. By the way, if you have questions, we also launched a brand new community feature on our website where you can network with and talk with other minority mindset thinkers. So check it out on our website while you're there. I'll link it for you in the description below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, share it with one friend. That way we can help spread the word. If you want to learn more about how you can refinance your mortgage and save money the right way, I already made a video on this, and you can watch this video on YouTube by clicking this button right over here. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.